Good evening on this lovely Friday. Can you guys believe the week is actually done? My goodness, it's been such a good run. And today we have another conversation around societal pressure. Mimi Kwanza, let me tell you, all those people who text me to ask me what are my plans, do and am I getting married, tafadhali, pressure one side. But today we talk about the pressure women are given by the society. And I have an amazing couple in studio, Fred and Kate Mutinda. And I also have a very good friend of mine by the name of Mary Nkatha. Yaya napewa pressure, mimi siko hapo. Karibuni sana. Thank you so much, guys, for coming. So obviously, Fred and I didn't get the memo. We are not in African attire. Sisi tulikuja tu kiofisi, but it's okay. We are here. Thanks, Nkatha. So I'll start with you. You're the youngest.
Yeah.
Do you have pressure? Are you given pressure for anything by people?
I think there's external pressure, but I don't have pressure like for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the biggest pressure you're given?
One, to get married.
Ooh, you're looking that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also like to make it in quotes. Like have I achieved this milestone of maybe owning a car, owning a house? Are you going to all the joints, the latest joints? What do you do for your weekends? Do you eat out? Do you know all the offers? You know, such things.
Okay. During weekends, I just read. Kate, one thing, I know you. Can you believe I know her, and I can tell you're very confident in who you are. So before you got married, let's go back there.
Yes.
Did you feel pressure to be in a relationship?
Yes, especially peer pressure.
Okay.
During my time, I'm now 45.
What?
During my time,
What's your moisturizer?
when I was a girl, there was a problem. I'm born again.
Yeah.
We're in the church, in the youth group.
Yes.
And a lot of people are getting married. Maybe I'll give an example. I tell people I don't like going back to that time of my life because you're like three friends, two have gotten married.
Yes.
So you're like, hiya. Then you're like, the next person who comes, I'll just say yes.
Okay.
So that pressure was from, especially peer pressure.
Okay.
Where it looks like it's a fashionable thing for the moment. Let's all get married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was
bad.
there.
It was bad.
Fred, wanaume wanakuanga na pressure?
Tena sana.
Pressure gani?
It's only that we swallow the pressure a bit.
Okay.
But the pressure is there. Pressure of mbona hatujaona mgeni?
Wait, you guys get the same question?
We do.
What?
We
Okay.
do. We've never seen you with any girl. Unangojea nini?
Yeah.
Time inasonga. Nataka kupata mjukuu. The pressure is there.
Okay.
A lot of pressure. Maybe you have a shamba somewhere. Mbona hujaijenga kanyumba?
Okay.
Mbona. Your friends are achieving this, you've not achieved that. A lot of pressure.
Okay.
I think men might have a lot of pressure than women.
I hear you, but I think for us, then we are given pressure with dates. When you turn 25, you need to have done this. When you turn 30, you need to have done this. But I'm thinking, Jesus had an impact at 33. What's the pressure? But Kate, I'll ask you now specifically. Oh, wait, someone is saying hi. Say hi to Fred and Kate. Liz is saying hi to you.
Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, she's one of us here.
Yes.
So I was saying, Kate specifically. Now let's get to the nitty gritties. So your friends are getting married. Hii pressure inatoka kwa wazazi ama the friends only?
It depends. Now, in my time, it was not the parents.
Okay.
Like I'm the firstborn. And firstborn, sometimes we have a hard time. Because the parents still think you're a baby, even when you're grown up. So, ukichelewa kidogo home, umechelewa wapi, usichelewe.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So the parents are not in a hurry to get you married off. They still think you're a baby. But
The society.
the society,
Yeah.
neighbors, they're like, hey, na msichana anakuwa na tuonangi hata ni kama anaenda out or
Okay.
something, anafikanga nyumbani mapema, you know that. But in my time it was mostly among the peers.
Okay.
Everyone does not want to be left out.
Okay.
So it was inakustress, am I not beautiful enough? Why aren't they seeing me? Why are they seeing the rest? Even the young men that time, in the youth group there was that problem. So
Okay.
everyone was like, hey,
Yeah.
I don't want to be left out.
Yeah, because I
that's
understand.
dangerous because
Yeah.
that time a lot of marriages that happened that time are not
There anymore?
yes.
Wow.
Because it was not love, it was mostly peer pressure and my feelings too. Then I get feeling. Hey, so, yeah. Then you realize along the way, hey, it's not just about my feelings.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay, and I'll be getting to that because you are happily married. Nkatha, do you get pressure from parents? I know your dad, so speak very carefully.
I think my parents, especially my dad, is so chilled out. He's like, oh, when you get there, you'll get there. You know,
Okay.
like there's no pressure per se. My mom tries to hook me up with one or two people, you know, the friends.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
like,
mothers.
oh, I have a saved girl.
Okay.
Might you have a son, you know? But there's no pressure that one of, it's a milestone I have to achieve at this time.
Okay.
Like God's timing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, we're all born again. And thank you, Lord. I wanted to ask you, your pressure, does it come from men? Because I know men go through pressure as well. But is it from your fellow guys? Ama ni wazazi pia?
Wazazi and fellow guys. Let me say elderly the people are watching.
Okay.
And parents also. Yeah, because there's a certain age you might get into iwe shida kuendelea na without some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, especially when you stay for long without getting married, because it maybe there are things you want to achieve, or there's what you want,
Yes.
or there's who you've identified and you want to take it easy. You get pressure from parents and people are watching.
Okay.
Sometimes, let me also get into the church, whereby you're serving in the church. You are told you cannot serve effectively without a wife, so you need one in order for you to serve well as a young man. It happens.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. And I wanted to ask you, Fred, of course, after you get married, then there's the question, mtoto anakuja lini?
Yeah.
And there's a couple that is an international, they do work internationally. And I remember she did an interview and said, it's not good to ask a couple when they're getting a child because you don't know the struggle. Maybe they can't have children. Maybe they're taking their time. Maybe they're actually trying and failing to have children. Did you have that pressure when you got married to the lovely Kate?
Yeah, you'd be asked, mbona Tony vipi akiongeza weight?
Okay.
That adding of weight means getting expectant.
Okay.
So you'll have to trust God and pray that the babies may come.
Okay.
Yes.
So that guys keep quiet kidogo.
Yeah.
Okay. Kate, did you get the pressure to have babies?
It's tough because like my husband is like the last born
Okay.
and very favorite to them. My father-in-law was late when we got married,
Yes.
he was late.
Okay.
But he loved me. He had even told the son, "You marry that girl."
Okay.
So my mother-in-law also loved me. We were very close, but because of the society, they used to tell her, "Hey, he's married a very good girl, but is she going to get pregnant? I mean, it's taking a while, you know."
Yes.
So she would give in to the
while?
pressure.
What's a while?
3 years.
See? That's such few years.
Yeah, and because no matter how much she loves you, she gets into some doubt. Why
Okay.
are people asking that? What are you people? Then she would ask me, "Hey, are you planning to have a child soon? You know, I'm getting old.
Okay.
This is my favorite son. I'd like to see my grandchildren from him. Ameona wale wengine but anataka." Unaelewa?
And she tells you directly.
She would tell me, not on a, it doesn't look like pressure, but it is sweet pressure. It's not harsh, it's sweet, it is still pressure.
Okay.
So you find it's difficult because even if you're trying to trust God for a baby, you're under pressure. Hata haezi ingia huyo mtoto. Unaona? Because you're stressed up.
Yeah.
But then with time you learn to just tell her it's God's timing. We won't, but it's God's timing, and you pray and you're like, I'll tell God, okay, God, so nipatie tu akakasturi kaishe. So
Okay.
finally God had, and I got pregnant. She was very happy.
Okay.
When I got pregnant when she was with us, she was sick. I was with her for 3 months.
Okay.
She had a situation where alikuwa amechoka kumeza madawa, so nikaona akienda ushago hata meza. So I told her, you stay here till you finish your medication. Then I got pregnant. Then she got to know, she almost never went home for the 9 months to take care of me.
Wow.
I told
Okay.
her I'll be fine, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the pressure is there.
Okay.
Though sometimes it looks like it is sweet pressure, but there's no sweet pressure. It is pressure. Because
Okay.
people look at you. You go up country, people greet you, and then they're looking at your waist.
What?
It's so
I
obvious.
can't believe that time is going to come. I'm even panicking. I can see your face. You're like, I hope that time doesn't come. But before I get to you, I want to ask Fred something. Does it get to a point where you end up doing things as a couple because of pressure. Maybe you had planned to get a baby after 5 years, but mother-in-law has asked too many questions, so we might as well. Are there situations like those?
No, actually, I try my level best to be sober.
Okay.
Because life is a process. And there are priorities also in life.
Okay.
So you have to live a day at a time. And again, our steps are ordered of God.
Hey, preach. Yes.
So we cannot jump into doing things because of pressure. Because if we do that, we do it wrong.
Okay.
And we get it wrong. Yeah, and we make a lot of mistakes. So in times of external pressures, I try to be sober because that's what I have in mind.
Okay.
And that's what I've planned. And I've committed it to God.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's hey, you're very lucky. That's a very sober man. Nkatha, I wanted to ask you, sometimes we'll get pressure, yes, to get married, but something that gets to me every single time is when someone tells me, no, ukiolewa, you're not supposed to wait too long to have children because by 30, what's the number, 30 or 35? You should be done having children. I'm like, enough. Do you get that as well?
Even I think as a society, we need to know that even children just don't come.
Okay.
You know, what happens when you're impotent? What happens when you can't get babies? Have you thought, like, there's something called adoption? What happens? Because there are some people who don't even want kids. So I think you really need to know yourself, and you really need to understand that different circumstances, different times, different people, and when you understand that, then you can embrace who you are.
Okay.
And when you know who you are, then society does not have like such a stronghold on you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, okay. Sawa. So let me ask, I'll ask you again, what have you seen in our age group, because you're around the same age, as the effects of that pressure, especially for young women?
In terms of marriage
Yeah.
and getting babies, I think we are getting to see like so many people are getting married and they're not happy.
Okay.
You know, they're not happy. They're just putting up a face. And when they get home, you know, there's no marriage there.
Okay.
And maybe someone gets a kid and they don't love this baby. Because, you know, the society expects you, oh, when you get your baby, you're like, oh my God, this is the love of my life. What happens when you get this baby and you're like, oh my God, I wasn't ready. I hate this person. They're just spoiling for me. They're just messing my life, you know. So I think people just need to embrace where they are and just step by step, you'll get there day by day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kate,
Yes.
There's something she's touched on, many marriages, you know, with young women getting into it, and how I know it's a reality. We were checking the statistics and you're saying, in your circle of 5 friends, do you know anyone who's under 30 and they're divorced? And everybody in the room said yes. Which goes to show we're getting married, probably because of pressure, and then we find ourselves in very difficult situations. Now, Kate, now that you look 25, ni sawa tu. When you were 15, sorry, when you were in your 20s, was that the situation?
I'll get very deep in my story because I believe there are people who are watching and they would love to be informed and so that they may be able to get careful. When I was in high school, I was in a relationship. That was a mistake.
Okay.
Because when you're in high school, you're not supposed to be in a relationship. So I was in a relationship that promised marriage after school. So of course, I stopped concentrating on studies. I would wait for every Friday to get a letter from my boyfriend.
Yes.
You know. So when I finished high school, something happened and it didn't work. Okay? So during that time, it was painful and all that. It didn't work. For 4 years, I was in other relationships. You understand? Trying this, none worked. Then 4 years after that, the boyfriend I had in school resurfaced.
Okay.
Now, why am I talking about peer pressure? When he resurfaced, and we are all in the church, and I'm like, see, everyone is getting married, and this guy is not bad after all. So let me give him another chance.
Okay.
So I got married at 22. Are we together on that?
We are together.
22 is very young, but in our church that time it looked very old.
Okay.
Now, remember our parents, ours, not yours, ours used to get married at 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
So, akukwa pressure at 25, 22, 23 was okay.
Okay.
But that marriage didn't work I was in that marriage for 6 years. Okay? Now, your two people have gotten married, maybe out of some circumstantial situation, as in, si kila mtu anaoana na kila mtu anaolewa na tulikuwa tunapendana, we can, you know. So for 6 years, it was what you call a bad marriage.
Okay.
Violence, sexual violence and all kind of things. I got a baby. My firstborn is 18 years now, 18 and a half.
Okay.
But for 6 years, I used to ask myself, nilitoka kwetu nikienda wapi? You understand?
Yeah.
I'm talking about this because you've talked about divorce. So it's not just a circumstantial situation.
Yes.
I've been through that.
Okay.
6 years, bad marriage, almost died. I got strangled. On the 6th, actually, I was taken to hospital while unconscious. Because the guy strangled me, wanted to kill me. So from hospital, I didn't go back to him. My dad took me home. So I stayed for 8 years, separation, not divorce.
Okay.
8 years separation. Pain, feeling the pain. But one thing I remember, I told God, I don't want to be a bitter woman. I have seen bitter women, they don't heal. Help me to bitterness. Hata kama nimekasirika kama niko hurt, bitterness isiingie. And that one he did. It wasn't an easy 8 years, but those 8 years I told God, I don't need a man in my life. I can live on my own. I can take care of my baby. I just want you to turn a new page in my life. Nikwe nika nimezaliwa tu upya. Ile maisha ulikuwa umenipangia. Nipangie hiyo. Nilimess my way, but nimerudi sasa nimezaliwa.
Okay.
And it was the 9th year in those 8 years. I met him in those 8 years. But we were recruited in a group that was to go to the UK to sing. We are singers, so we were picked from different churches.
Okay.
So when we went to that team, he was the leader, and because I was a good composer, I was the assistant.
Okay.
But we never went to the UK. I really see that group was not meant to go to the UK because we never went.
Okay.
So when the group really break, I had done my first album and I had seen a talent in him. I told him, you program for me my second album.
Okay.
So that we unichezee nyimbo. Akaniambia baadaye mwana nitafungua studio siku moja, but I'm not ready to make a fool of myself. Ngambia, you can't make a fool of yourself.
Yes.
This is a chance. So when he played that music, it is what opened the studio that he has up to today.
Preach.
But that time,
Yes.
we were very good friends, and this is what I tell people. It is good to get married to a friend. We were very good friends. I was trying to get him a girlfriend. I met him. I met him 3 years after my separation. So the rest of the 5 years, of course, I knew I'm separated. I'm not divorced. I can't even think about it. You know. So I was telling him, vile tu kwa friend yangu hivyo, na uko tu mzuri, usitafute demu wa kukutupanisha.
Okay.
Mimi nina mabeste wangu ndawapitisha tu hapa. Ukiona tu ule mpoa, nitakuachia person kwa committee yenu. You deserve the best.
Yes.
So in short,
You are the best.
for 5 years we were friends.
Yeah.
He was my producer. I was bringing girlfriends. But he told me, I have a girlfriend. I was like, I'm offended. How come I don't know her? He was negotiating with God about me. I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
So finally, when I filed for a divorce without knowing because I wanted to cut off my past,
Yes.
he was in the picture. I was like, can we talk? I'm like, where? Tutafukuzwa kwa kanisa.
And with that, you have to take a break.
Yes.
Think about what she said. We'll be right back.
Yes.
Talking about the one we are running to. If you're just joining us, it's a Lovely Friday, talking about society pressure, specifically on women. And I have a man in the building because I need him to explain what are we supposed to do after that. But allow me to sample some of your feedback. Pauline Rose from Kahawa. Hi, Pauline. You're saying Hi all, pressure is there even when one is married. As it's a Lovely Friday, talking about society pressure, specifically on women. And I have a man in the building because I need him to explain what are we supposed to do after that. But allow me to sample some of your feedback. Pauline Rose from Kahawa. Hi, Pauline. You're saying Hi all, pressure is there even when one is married, not only for you to get kids, but even when God blesses you with children, with babies following each other, people will be like, hey, you need to do family planning. And also, Pauline Wadega, all the way from Dallas, Texas, I say she's my auntie. By the way, Jeff Ndwati, you introduced her to the station. Thank you so much. And you're saying, Kanyams, even for those who are not married, don't ask why they're not married. You don't know my story. If I don't volunteer, please don't ask. Mr. Fred, In your own opinion, living the few years you've lived, because you have a long way to go,
Yes.
why is it that happens mostly to women? Because for men, it's financial pressure. Hiyo ndo najua, hiyo ndio yenyu. But for women, it's everything else. And it's this never-ending cycle. Why is that?
Okay, in my opinion, I think a woman is like a flower
Okay.
for all to see.
Okay.
And there are a lot of eyes watching.
Yes.
And life is also too short.
Okay.
And they would like to see you and your progress and your achievements before the end of life. And you see also God's creation. There are stages where you cannot do this, stages you cannot give birth, stages you cannot do that. And that's why eyes will be upon you. And everyone would want to either mentor you or be your teacher or guide and show you this is what you need to do.
Okay.
Yes, so I think pressure is there because a woman is like a flower for all to see and give their opinion on the flower.
Hey, hivi ndo naandikiangwa mistari.
Actually, men, hata wakiwa age gani, si wataka tu mtu mimba.
It's true.
So for the woman, I think sometimes as much as we take what wanatu pressurize, they feel they need to advise you.
Okay.
Ukipata mtu mzuri, usitelewe sana, juu pia clock kuna mali inafikanga. They don't mean bad most of the time.
Okay.
Of course, a lot of them wanajipox tu, lakini kuna ule desire yake ni I pray kama mimi naombeanga mtoto wangu aolewe at the right time by the right man. Asichelewe na asiende mapema. The right time ndio mambo yake isikwe magumu. Kuna time age inafika kupata mtoto ni ngumu yenyewe. So I think watu wanga tuna concern.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, Nkatha, she's highlighted such issues that came with, jumping the gun. And I wanted to ask you, what does it do to you, especially emotionally, when you cave? What happens to women when they cave?
I think when you cave, you do it because, some pressures really get to you, to be honest. You can't be a super woman. But then when you cave, there's no satisfaction in your heart. You go to bed and you're so worried. You have to, keep on doing something else to cover up what you've done. Whether it's maybe because we're talking about marriage and relationships, whether you're in a relationship and you're just feeling this is not the one, and you're there, you've caved, oh my God, now he engages you, you're like, I wasn't ready, but I have to say yes, we are a happy couple.
That's what I don't get. Why isn't it broken off at the engagement? Why do people go all the way? We've even seen celebrities in this country saying, I caved to get married. I'm like, you were engaged. You had the chance to break it off. Why do you think it doesn't happen?
I think it's just that pressure. And, it's... I think most of the time it's perceived because I believe at the end of the day when people go to sleep, they don't think about you. Unfortunately, they think about themselves. They think about maybe their family. So you have this perceived notion of, what will people say at the end of the day when you're sleeping, and they don't care.
Okay.
So I think it's just a perceived
she
pressure.
even changed her face saying, no one cares, by the way.
They don't.
Yeah.
They
you wanted to
don't.
say something?
They don't, because I tell people, even if you cancel your engagement,
Yes.
they'll talk about it for a week or two. And then something else. It's just like what happens sometimes in our nation.
Yes.
There's
Politics.
NYS, then sugar comes. Sugar! And then, topics keep changing. So it's not good to let your mind think, what will people say? Let them say. Within a week or two, they'll get something else to talk about.
Okay,
Yeah.
I hear you. Yeah. Okay, let me touch on something else. There's a pressure, Fred, for women. I don't know who set up these expectations. Now that you have access to opportunities and education, there's this expectation career-wise of what you should do. And I once hosted a woman who told me, I have gotten my master's, I'm getting my PhD, I don't want to go to work. And that's okay. But then women, we're still told you have to go to work, but remember, don't work too hard, you need to get babies. Oh wait, but you have to climb the corporate ladder. There's so much pressure. Now you have children. How are you going to tell, do you have a daughter?
I have 2 daughters.
2 daughters.
Yes.
How are you going to teach them to know that this is what society expects of you, but what will you tell them?
I've learned to be open with them. and tell them practically what happens. But I've also learned to teach them to make sober decisions in their own, not to make decisions out of pressure or out of a directive or a push. I've learned to tell them, when you hear anything, pause and think before you react. Because if you react before thinking, you might make a mistake, which might cost you in the future.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And I thank God you're their mom, because then now you can tell them this is what happened, so make sure you don't make the same mistake.
Like when I was when we were taking our daughter to Form 1, I remember something just made me look into her eyes when we were leaving her in the school, and I told her, and don't make a mistake I made.
Okay.
Do not get a boyfriend in school. Don't make that mistake. The university I never went to was, you need to go to that because I know you're a bright girl.
Okay.
But if you mix yourself, and she listened, and she made it, and she went to university. So university,
Wow.
I told her she's in Egerton. I told her now, still, don't get into a relationship because everyone else is. Let God mark your ways.
Okay.
He has a timing for you. He has the right person for you. May He open your eyes, because we are not going to guide you into, oh, this one is good. No.
Yes.
May God help you
Okay.
not miss the right opportunity or not to get into the wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was open with, I know many parents are not open with their kids on the mistakes they made. I am.
Okay.
Because if you don't, they will walk the same route you did.
Okay. And that's very true. The,
Yeah.
the what is it called? What do you call them? The cycles.
Cycles.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
So
very
you cancel
easy to fall
it by
into
prayer,
one.
but also talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about it.
Okay, I hear you. Nkatha, do you feel pressure to make it? You said make it.
Yeah.
What pressure is this to make it? I wish somebody would.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel, because we are in the era of social media, our age group, as in you see on Instagram someone, or Facebook or Twitter, wherever you are,
Yes.
you see someone either is in an Uber or like driving their own car, and you're there driving, you're there taking do this, like, what am I doing wrong in life, you know? And even if you say no, I know my lane, I know
Yeah.
my path,
Yeah.
most of the time when you feed yourself this, then it just gets into your subconscious.
Okay.
And then now you have that pressure. You're like, oh my God, what am I doing wrong that I'm not getting to that lifestyle?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fred, you know
Yes.
how we say financial pressure for men? Chabasi sisi wanawake tukuambie. Kuna watu waitwa slay queen. Giving us pressure from here to Timbuktu. Long hair going sijui to where. Do you think social media has amplified what pressure there was and now put it on a larger scale? I don't know. What do you think?
Yet, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It yes, because, okay, initially there are people who never knew about the slave queens and all that.
Yes.
We were just living and life was normal until we saw it on media. And then all of a sudden, they are slave queens.
Okay.
Then you have to be careful lest you you come across one.
Okay.
So I think it was amplified as much as it helped some of us see the reality.
Yes.
It was, and it acted for and against
Okay.
us.
Okay.
Yes.
Kate, let me ask you. I was asking a lady at the office earlier. Do you feel like also media points to self, that we've actually pushed the pressure, what we've portrayed as the ideal woman, either in our content or what we glorify is this woman who has all these things, and you're not explaining the journey of how she got there. Have we done that?
In a way, but I don't think that's what you're after. You know,
Okay.
when you're selling a situation or a character or anything, there's what it's business as usual.
Yes.
You're selling this, but it's for the people to choose what works for them and what doesn't work.
Okay.
It's just like I tell people, even when you go to church and the preacher is preaching, one, he's human. He's not God. He preaches, you need to take what will help you. And what doesn't help you, don't talk about it, leave it, because it's
Okay.
what works for you. So I don't blame media for the things they do, because it's business. Clients come to you and they expect you to advertise what they have.
Yes.
And that is business for you. We are the ones who should be careful what identity we take or what we want to become. You don't have to be everything you're saying. There's something good and something not good in every situation. Hata ile inakambaya kuna kakitu. Of course it's good to look good. I wouldn't mind looking good because I saw an advert.
Yes.
But if it's going to be beyond my means, I don't have to. I can look good in my level.
Okay.
You know, it's a choice we make. I can't blame the media.
Okay.
They're just doing a job. Yes.
Okay.
Even when they talk about, media will talk about condoms or anything. They're just doing a job because whether we like it or not, there is a problem.
Okay.
But it is the choice of the person watching to choose. Do I abstain? You don't have to pick everything. But do I abstain or do I? It's a choice that one makes. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kate, to your point, who is the head of media representative in this country.
KFCB.
No, I don't blame. It's a job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nkatha, there's a quote that I read that girls are raised, boys are just born. And they are born then. So part of the raising, you're told how to sit, you're told how to eat, you're told how to say hi to a man, you're told how. Does this pressure start from utotoni?
It's interesting because that's my heart. Like,
Okay.
Functional families. So I think boys are just raised the same way as girls are raised. But then there's just that gap of either absentee fathers or like maybe fathers who are even not there from day one. So you see, from the word go, you have someone to emulate as a mother because most of the time mothers are there.
Okay.
But then the boy does not.
Okay.
Because even for some of us, maybe, we were not taught this is how you sit, this is how you stand, this is how you talk. You know, you just looked at someone who was older than you and you admire and you do that.
Okay.
But men don't have that choice. Most men, yes.
Okay. So you're trying to say dads don't give us pressure?
Okay, from my own,
Yeah.
I'll just speak from my own experience.
Yeah.
I don't feel like my dad gives me pressure. I feel like he was there, and I got to know how I should relate to a man. Like, it was functional. It was a functional relationship, and I'm grateful for that.
Amen. Not many people can say that. Fred, I wanted to ask you, as a dad, there are women who will get external pressure because of what she said, the void that is there.
Yeah.
Aki, Mabuda. Mpaka I'm even speaking in Sheng. Mabuda. Where do we go wrong with our girls? Because then the minute you're away from them, the world is too loud. Yeah.
I think, I'm sorry to say, most of us are run away from our families.
Okay.
And some willingly, some unwillingly. Because of, you see, the pressure to achieve. That I have to look, to work for them. And I have to make sure that they have a house to live in, they have food, they have all that. Sometimes it can take me away from the family.
Okay.
Sometimes environment, sometimes a choice.
Okay.
Whereby I'm no longer interested in my family, so I leave them. So the question is, if I'm not there for the families, who will take care of them?
Oh, okay.
So I'll leave them to the world.
Yeah.
And the world will take care of them the way they want. So most of our children are suffering because of our absences, our being out of our families.
Okay.
And that's too sad.
Okay.
Yes.
I respect you for saying that, given you're a man. Think about that as we enjoy our song. For you, we are live on Family TV, also live on Family Radio. If you're just joining us or you're just catching the conversation, talking about society pressure on women. Nasija catch atakidogo. For the gentleman who's texted one word, following, thank you for checking in. And we were talking off air, and I was telling you we've addressed the pressure by the society, by parents, by peers, but there's just one pressure that is. It's called inner pressure. Nkatha, do you have inner pressure?
I do. I actually do.
Okay.
Because, you know, I journal a lot and I write by 25 I want to achieve this, you know. And then you go back, you're like, oh my God. I just, even half a sentence, I haven't achieved. Now what? You know? And I think when you have that inner pressure, you just take a chill pill and say, imagine there's another year, there's more time, I'll still achieve this. Maybe I was so stupid and naive when I was writing this, and now I'm like more sober and I have more wisdom. And
Okay.
even you talk to your parents, you talk to your mentors, and you ask them, how am I doing? What can I improve? Such things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katha, did you write you want to be a millionaire by 25? I don't trust you. Did you?
Millionaire or billionaire? What?
You need to invent Facebook for that to happen. Kate, did you feel, do you have inward pressure? Do you have it now?
Different times in my life, different seasons. Of course, inward pressure comes from the outward pressure. When you go to sleep, like she said, when you go to sleep, you ask yourself, that's like maybe nimeachieve nini leo.
Okay.
And then there's those embarrassing moments in your life where it's embarrassing to you think, like we said, everyone is looking at you.
Yes.
Like me, I was a worship leader. So even in church, you're leading worship, and then after church, you even hear people talk about you while you're here. Can you imagine? Vile anakuanga tu msupu anaimba vizuri, lakini waliachana na Bwana. You know? So when you go back
in
to your
church?
house, yes.
Okay.
By the way, let me shock you. The worst place, and it's supposed to be the best place,
Yeah.
where people get low self-esteem is in church. Christians harass you through the word. They will look for a verse that will match with what they want to tell you. Let me tell you, it's unfortunate. Sometimes even unbelievers encourage you more.
Okay.
But I'm just saying Christians we need to be, but you need to be wewe mwenyewe unafaa kuamua. Because when you go to sleep at night and there are things like saying you've not achieved, ama kuna ka pressure unapata pale nje, ukienda kulala usiku ndio kana kuingianga. Sasa kesho nikiamka itakuwa better. You're killing yourself.
Yes.
Or even that issue we've said about getting a baby.
Yeah.
I'll be very practical. You go at night and you're like, God, Aki, mi sitaki kufisi watu tena unless I'm pregnant. Karibu floss about ukipata pregnancy karibu ende kwa media waambie kila mtu kwa pregnant. Ndio wajue wote kwa ujumla.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's that. It comes different seasons.
Okay.
Right now, not really. I've learned to just live a day at a time, an hour. If the day ends, it has ended.
Okay.
I pray to sleep well. I wake up tomorrow for a better tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I've
really-
come to that.
I like your personality.
Yes.
Fred, do you have inward pressure?
Inward pressure is inevitable
Okay.
and brought by different things, either achievements, failures, or expectations.
Okay.
And I think inward pressure is more dangerous than external pressure because it can either make or destroy you.
Yes.
For me, I usually I get it, but God has given me grace to know how to balance it.
Okay.
From career, for example, I'm a music producer, and I'll be given pressure by the people I'm working for
Okay.
because of deadlines. Or there is a challenging track I'll be given to work on, and it might give me some pressure. Or I'll be given I've been promised something, and I need to achieve this before I get into that promise. So in most cases, I'll get a lot of pressure. Leave alone that, get into the family. That's what they expect out of you.
Okay.
There's a deadline you want to achieve, but then your daughters and your wife want you home by 6.
Yeah.
So in most cases, you get that pressure.
Okay.
It's contributed by the external. So it's upon me to know, how do I handle this pressure? How do I relax? And how do I achieve before the deadlines? It's very challenging.
Yes.
But I've learned to relax.
Okay.
Live a day at a time. Do what I can. And what I can't, just leave it for another day.
Okay.
Or another time.
Okay.
So I can say grace has been sufficient to help me do what I can
Okay.
at that moment of time and leave what I could not for another day.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear you. Allow me to sample a message by one Titus from Nakuru. Titus, I'll be in Nakuru tomorrow. Just a heads up. You're saying, my question is, how do you deal with pressure from parents that we should marry or be married from the same tribe? I'm following it, really educating this age that I am. So Titus is asking, I think, Kate, I'll give you this question. You want you're told to marry or be married from the same tribe, and it's your parents. utadu?
By the way, hizo ni vitu siku hizi naona zimepitwa na wakati.
Okay.
Ilikuwa sana wakati wetu. But in this day and age, a lot of people have intermarried. You're a Kikuyu married to a Luo. Mnazaa nini? Haya,
Kiluo.
huyo mtoto anakuja anaolewa na Mgiriama.
Yes.
Mgiriama wanapata nini? Sasa hiyo ni Mgiluo. Anaenda anaolewa na Mhindi.
Yes.
I mean, seriously, we should be beyond looking at the tribe, but looking at the person.
Yes.
Is this the right person?
But for him,
Parents, yeah.
so how do you talk to your parents? Because again, you don't want to disrespect them, but then there's the pressure. How do you make sure you bring them to the table and you guys, have a conversation?
Sometimes silence is an answer.
Okay.
If you cannot argue with your parents or look like, you can just tell them, look, I've heard you. I'm praying about it. Why don't we pray that God brings kama ni huyo mtu? And I don't know whether he's born again, because I believe in prayer.
Yes.
And prayer, what I know, God answers prayers. There are things you can't, like even us in our marriage, there are times I want to talk to him about something, and maybe he won't see my point. And then when we sleep at night, I lay my hand on him, he thinks I'm loving him. But I'm like, God, talk to him by morning, please. So in the morning he wakes up and he says, I thought about what you were telling me. I'm like, oh God, that was fast. So prayer.
Yes.
Teach us, just pray that God brings the right person and that your parents will see that right person as they are.
Okay.
It's enough.
Okay.
Yes.
That's true.
I'm laughing. Your dreams have been shattered.
I'm not being loved on.
I am. That's why I'm praying for him.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I can see we're almost out of time. So I'll just start with you, Fred, on how to every woman out there. Of course, you're talking to daughters, to sisters, to wives, to single women, to women who are waiting, all those things. What would you tell them in regards to pressure? What's your gift to them?
My gift to you are the flowers.
Yes.
Sober up. Live a day at a time. And life is a gift,
Okay.
which you do not give it yourself. You give it by God.
Okay.
And he orders our steps. So learn to trust in him. Live a day at a time. And never do things out of pressure. Because some things you do out of pressure will lead into consequences which might not be erased in your life.
Okay.
Secondly, as much as there are deadlines, the author of this life understands the deadlines. So when you take it upon you to just live for the sake of living, you might also fall. So take your time, live a day at a time, step by step, and life is a process, and you will make it.
Hey, baba yao ameongea. Let me tell you, you're so sober about it. The rest of us are just like, he's very sober. Kate, what do you tell the women? And I love what God has done with your life. Obviously, you're a testament to what he can do. Amen. What would you tell women?
The young ones, single ladies, learn to enjoy your singlehood.
Okay.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Write notes.
When it's gone, it's gone.
Okay.
When it's gone too soon, you never recover. You can never go back to your past.
Okay.
That's why it's called the past. That you have right now and tomorrow. Even
Yes.
yesterday, what you didn't do, you didn't. So learn to enjoy your single life, the space. Make choices, yes, but learn to enjoy it. So as when you go to the next step,
Yes.
you're already done with that.
Okay.
And you will be able to know how to give the other persons. Like now, a lot of people in marriage still get married and they hate it because they don't give each other space. There's something called space. If you don't know how to enjoy your space when you're single, when you get married, you don't allow the other person to enjoy the space. Unamfuata, unataka kumshikilia, anafanya. And everyone needs to enjoy still that.
Yeah.
You should be married, but there are moments you want to just your space.
Okay. I hear you.
I watch ball, wewe uende watch bedroom soap.
Yeah.
Si akwambie juu hii nyumba yangu watu wana watch World Cup sahi ataka wapendi. That is.
Okay.
So learn to enjoy, girls, learn to enjoy that moment because you will miss it. If you make a mistake, you will miss it.
Okay.
Enjoy it
Okay.
and love yourself enough not to let another person waste you. Yeah.
Okay.
your worth. Yeah.
Kate says.
Yeah.
Nkatha, wrap it up for us. What would you tell people?
You know, I like this analogy that I found when I was on Thika Road. You know, I was driving and then I just thought to myself, I'm going at 60 kph. And then there's this Paradiso that is hooting at me and wants to overtake, you know.
Yes.
And then there's this Range Rover that goes so fast, like within the blink of an eye, it's gone.
Yeah.
And that's life, you know.
Okay.
You are inside your car. You don't know why this other person is driving so fast. They have their deadlines.
Okay.
You have yours. And if you understand that, then you know, like the driver is Jesus.
Okay.
And he knows he's the author of your story. And if you just trust in him, he'll take you a day at a time and you'll be more content with your life and you can even be happy. You're like, oh, you go, I'll get there when I get there because I know where I'm going. I might be going to exit 7, you might be going to exit 10, but I know where I'm going.
Okay.
And I think you'll be content.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Nkatha, young entrepreneur, very proud of you.
Thank you.
Amazing songwriter, artist, works with her husband, author as well.
Called the real beauty and worth of a woman.
Ndio sasa.
Every woman needs that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you work with your husband. I'm very proud of you guys in the union you have. Fred, music
Yes.
producer, you're in the business with us.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming through. Totally appreciate you guys. I hope you've learned something. Lanes. Aki, let me use just my hand. Do you know how you're told if God wanted us to be equal, all these would be the same? And you see, they're not, and every finger is beautiful the way it was created. That's how we all are. We have lanes. Kutangulia si kufika. So can you work with the plan God has given you? If you do make a mistake, Kate is a good example of what redemption looks like. I prepared something for you guys. I'm not quite sure whether it's ready. It's a beautiful video for you to watch in regards to the process and pressure. But for now, it will be good night. Enjoy your weekend, and I hope Croatia wins. Good night.